in case you.
Yeah, perfect.
So I think we have a quorum on time. So I had anticipated we would walk into a significant crowd for public comment, and I'm just not seeing that in the courtroom. I think most of the concerned citizens who wanted to be heard on these issues did that by letter. Because folks we heard from are sort of the folks that know the process and the things say better than anyone. They've been heard in writing, I think, so we may not get extensive public comment. We had been planning, if we were, sort of slammed with members of the public, to invert the order and take the citizens first, but it's not necessary. We can get the private applicants out of here first.
Thank you, George.
Probably makes them happy. Okay. All right. Forum, council, people, LMC TV. Okay, our audio-visual friends have cleared us. All right, let's put us on the record. All right, Brittany, we could open to the public.
Yep, go ahead. Nothing on my end.
Good evening and welcome to the January 18th, 2023 meeting of the Harbor and Coastal Zone Management Commission. For the folks in the room, the exits are at either side of the courtroom. And for folks watching at home, you should have access on LMC TV, and I believe we are still streaming. But certainly we're accessible on LMC TV. We have a quorum. Motion to open the meeting.
So motion.
All in favor?
Yep.
We're unanimous to open the meeting, and we have two private applicants and an administrative item. We have the Harbor Island Dog Park. That's administrative, and we will take that last as it's listed on the public agenda. So I hope that anyone who happens to be here to comment on that will bear with us. We will get to you. I will instead call first the applicants for 129 to 133 Prospect.
Did you tell everybody at the office it was going well, so you were coming back?
Exactly. Good evening, commissioners. Kristen Motel from the law firm Petty and Fader on behalf of the applicant here, 129, 133 Williams Green Residential LLC. Also here tonight is Pierre Sarrazin from Sarrazin Architects, who's the project architect, Michael Stein from Hudson Engineering, civil engineers, and Matt Pop, landscape design. And our client representative, Pajit Green, she's feeling a little under the weather today, but she is watching live on Elvis. And just a little bit of procedural background here. We are before the commission tonight for an initial presentation associated with SECR review on referral from the planning board. So this application seeks a site plan and a special permit. And it is an unlisted action under SECR, which means there is coordinated review. After the SECR process has been, the initial environmental review is complete with the planning board, we'll return back before the commissioners for full consistency review. So tonight is an initial presentation. We're happy to get feedback and comments, and we look forward to submitting supplemental amended materials after the environmental review process with the planning board. As you probably know, the property we're talking about is across the street, almost diagonally here. It's two lots, 129 and 133. Those lots are actually not located in a flood zone because of the elevation. The project is proposing to merge the two lots and demolish the existing structures on the property. They are two-family homes that are there now, and construct 13 residential units, which, just for background, will be 8 one-bedroom, 5 two-bedroom units. It's a 4-story multifamily building. Thanks, Brittany. And the multifamily uses, by way of background, are allowed in this C2 zoning district. The project is proposing a LEED Silver certified building, and it will have green elements such as a green roof, high efficiency heating and cooling. New stormwater management infrastructure is also proposed. Obviously, there is no stormwater management on site, given the existing 2 residences there. There's also planting and landscaping, and the project that you're looking at now has been modified. We've been before the planning board since about September on this. So the building that you're seeing now has been pushed back, even though there are no setback requirements for this zoning district. In terms of lot lines and how far we have to be away from those, we did set the project back further from the streetscape to allow for landscaping along Prospect Avenue. There's fully compliant parking proposed underneath the building. Landscaping will, and the tree replacement will fully comply with the new tree law in the village. There was a traffic study done. I know that's a little bit outside of the purview of the board, but just to kind of give you some flavor of where we're at. We also did a construction phasing plan, which was a request of the planning board to evaluate not just traffic impacts, but environmental stormwater impacts as well, and a timeline for construction. So those materials were provided to you. And we noted during the commission's work session last week, there were some questions about stormwater infrastructure. So Michael Stein's going to address those. Obviously, that's very important for LWRP consistency. There's going to be no increase in stormwater runoff from the project, and we're going to eliminate all stormwater leaving the property to reduce the potential for erosion downstream. There were also some comments about the historic significance of the homes on site. We're in the process of review with SHPO for demolishing those structures. To our knowledge, they are not listed on the registry, but that's still a process that the planning board and we're familiar with the commission requiring. So we are undergoing that now. And without further ado, I think Pierre, do you want to just take them through the plans? It's a brief overview.
Absolutely. Again, for the record, good evening. My name is Pierre Sayers, and I'm with Sayers Architecture. And I don't know if there's a way for us to flip through the slide deck, and maybe I'll just call out the.
Just tell me what pages you want me to flip to.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. So on page 02, 002, which is the 3rd sheet. So that illustrates, again, that's a FEMA map. We're showing our distance to the coast and to the actual AE flood zone. That's about 327 feet. And then slide A100 is a satellite view of the existing properties. Just to give you context, I know you're pretty familiar with it, being across the street. And then
Let me just, I don't mean
Yes,
to break
please
your
go ahead.
flow, but do you know what the vertical drop is from the front edge of the property to Mamaroneck Avenue? Or to the river,
we
which is-
probably have some spot elevations on the civil lines.
And what did that do? Yeah, and if you don't, I'm not gonna put you on the spot. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to orient you in terms of our thinking, but go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah, and I'm sure we can address this. Sheet, again, I'll just walk through. Please feel free to ask any questions as they come up. A200 is our full basement. We're doing a partial full basement building. It's got some amenity spaces. It's got a gym with views of the Japanese garden. A201 is our ground floor plan, mostly parking. Again, we are meeting the parking requirements on site. We've got an ADA parking spot and an e-car charging station. Spaces. Got a bicycle rack. this is fully closed. It's got a gate or a gate at the front entrance. The dumpsters enclosed. And again, yeah, so we pushed the building back 3 feet, was as much as we can push it back to make the parking essentially. And that was one of the comments that came back from the planning commission. Sheet A201 is the second and third floor. It's showing 5 units, lots of terraces, tried to provide some outdoor space for the tenants. And then the A203 sheet is our top floor, which is the penthouse floor. And it's got 3 units, 2-bedroom units, again, large scale, lots of terraces, lots of outdoor spaces. Sheet 204 is our roof plan. It's got an amenity space for the tenants. It's got lots of green roofs. It's got a photovoltaic system canopy over the condensers in the rear. Lots of landscaping. Sheet 205, again, I think this was mentioned, we're committed to a LEED silver. We've got a green roof that's going to help with drainage on the roof. We've got VRF heat pump systems, photovoltaic on the roof, and we're using, again, LEED asked us to use sustainable materials. We'll be doing that. LED lighting with some energy saving controls. And we're also committing to 20% better than New York State energy code requirements for insulation. I think I mentioned this, there's a car charging station that we're providing, Energy Star appliances, bicycle rack, water sense certified plumbing fixtures. And then we included some elevations and sections.
And just, I quickly looked it up, so elevation about 39 right near the intersection, elevation 52 right at the corner closest down from the Mamaroneck Avenue. Sorry.
That's actually even more than I had. It's a drop.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we've included, elevations, sections, all that good stuff, and then we have the rendering on sheet A900. We've updated again with the landscaping that's being proposed. And then we also included a night render, just to kind of get a feel for what we're trying to achieve with the light. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask them. We'll respond as best as we can.
Good evening, Michael Stein, President of Hudson Engineering. Brittany, if you could bring up please, seat, stormwater plans, seat probably 2 or 3.
Sorry, it's loading.
No problem.
203, you said, Mike?
C3.
C3, sorry.
System. Oh, that one right there is fine.
Oh, 2.
Yeah, 2 is.
We.
So for the site, what we've done is we've designed a stormwater management system to retain the stormwater on site because of the building's footprint. We're not able to use infiltration. So what we're doing is a attenuation system where we have 60 feet of 36-inch diameter pipe that all the roof leader drains and all the drains from the parking area are directed into that. Coming off of the parking area, we actually have what's called a mechanical separator. It's a mechanical, it's basically a swirl chamber that provides water quality treatment for the water going through it. Currently, there is no water quality or water quantity treatment, so we're actually providing mitigation for both in this instance. Again, because of the building's proximity to the property lines, we're not able to go around the building. So we're actually having pipe hangers in the basement to go through the building and pass into. There's an existing manhole in the front right corner. I know that was one of Doug Sessions' comments about the securing the invert. I had actually opened up the manhole is about 10 feet deep, give or take. So I just wasn't about to climb down in to get pipe sizes, but again, we have a full set of erosion control that we implemented during construction. I know there was a few different questions that came up during the work session meeting. One was pertained to possibilities of stormwater having lead or asbestos washing off site. As the building, a full assessment will be done at the time of construction for building permit, but as the building's demolished, you have the foundation that really contains it, but at the same time, there's a sediment erosion control plan that's implemented with silt fence around the perimeter that protects anything from being able to wash off site. So all that mitigation for lead and asbestos would be handled beforehand regardless. So the rainwater really wouldn't become an issue.
Yeah, so you've got your finger right now on one of the major issues though. We've had a few buildings where the primary issue is how close the construction is to the river or something else where the proposed condition raised fewer concerns than the construction process itself. This is one of those where you probably picked up from the work session where, speaking for myself, I'm as much concerned with how we get to the proposed condition, right? When citizens might review this in a number of ways and think about things we don't think about, like traffic and bulk and stuff. That's as you know, that's not what we do here.
Yes.
But in terms of our policies, when I look at this, it raises stormwater issues. One, it's replacing a whole bunch of pervious surface with impervious surface, and the answer to that is treating all of the water volume. The other is you got to build it, and as you build it, it's a very steep drop to Mamaroneck Avenue, which is the commercially busiest part of the village, and it's a very steep drop from there to the river at the end of Prospect. So we have to think about, so if as much detail as you can walk us through the construction sequence and give us the runoff control for how we get to the proposed condition, that would be useful to me at this point in guiding planning in their secret review, and then when you come back.
So as far as the asbestos and lead abatement, and that would be done prior to the full demolition, because you want that all addressed, so it's not that you're not part of the demo material. So, but if there's any remnants as they collapse the building itself, you have the foundation, the existing foundation really becomes containment. So any rainwater that may come down, it's still contained within that area. And then as a second containment, you have silt fence around the perimeter of the site. So that's really holding that into place on a double level. Again, that's after everything's already been abated.
Yeah, do you have a version of the site plan with the construction sequencing and silt fencing marked?
This drawing has a silt fencing mark, but it does. We do not have a full construction sequencing. We can definitely prepare that and incorporate that into the plans.
Okay, it's not the kind of thing that we always ask for, but if we were right on the river, as we've been a few times, or if we're right on a steep hill where we know that any water that does wash off the property would roll down through the middle of the commercial district and right into the river, that's something that would help me to see here. Where are you going to put the fences when you're working, and as you demolish the buildings into their existing foundations, what are you going to do to take those foundations out and control the water flow while that's happening? And then the final phase where you've got the new foundation in and you've got a slab, walking us through that would be very helpful in being able to say, we're not creating a condition during construction that's going to float, water or silt right through the busiest area of the village or right into the river.
Yes. And then just, I think there were two other concerns that we're aware of from your meeting. One was impacts between flooding and water quality down the hill, which again, for 1 year storm, we're meeting the storm itself from water leaving the site. For the 10-year, we're reducing it by about 4%, and then for the 25, we're reducing it by about 6%. And again, there's a water quality component that the water quality leaving the site, any floatables or any oils that may be coming off, washing off the parking lot are being treated within a mechanical separator. We also have an aspect on the roof where there's stormwater planters. They're not, say, a green roof, but they're specific stormwater planters where they're taking any flow or they're taking any water that comes into them 100%. So there really is very minimal that may come along with that and contribute. And then around the perimeter, there is landscaping that is being provided as well. And I think one other question was about the possibility of wells downslope, but we're not aware of any wells that would be down in this area, Number one, we're providing a water quality treatment for any water going down there, so there really wouldn't be any impact. The only possible wells I can imagine would be for like for heat pumps, which they're nothing that
That's
would
not
be-
potable,
yeah.
so, yeah. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you. I'll hand it to the other commissioners. Tammy?
I actually don't have any other questions. You guys really good job answering.
George?
Really further questions. I was trying to understand, I was reading the material, I was trying to understand the process during the construction phase and how do you manage the runoff of stormwater in that process. It's clear that the responsibility lies with the owner, and I had a little bit difficulty. So if you can help me on this one, understand a little bit better how you plan to manage this, that would be very
Well,
helpful.
and one of the comments that Keller Sessions had was about being the tightness of the site. This is going to be an evolving sediment erosion control plan. So during the initial construction, it may be set to one limit as they move things around. Doing the demo will be set to a little further out perimeter. But then once you get the foundation poured, you're eliminating the possibility of water running off that area, except for a few openings that may come through. So you're really containing it more just by the foundation itself.
Could you just do the 101 on that?
Sure.
I,
So
it's not something I totally understand.
not a problem. So one of the primary mechanisms that we use for sediment erosion control is silt fence. So what happens is silt fence is it's basically a fence that's installed around. It's a pervious fence that will allow water to flow through, but it traps silt and sediment. So when that's installed properly, they'll actually dig a trench in front of the fence, tuck in the fence about 4 inches, so that way the water isn't running underneath the fence. And then that fence still has to be maintained. You're gonna have the contractor weekly has to go out and inspect it to make sure that it's not torn, it doesn't have too much silt and sediment built up. On a site of this size, that's typically not a problem. You want to check it like once a week, but it's really walking around doing a perimeter check, and then they'll have the contractor will have his laborers just do any little maintenance they need to.
Got it.
So, but again, that's wrapping around the down. Really, in this case, it's probably gonna be on all sides, the silt fence, because we don't want it running off on the bank's property onto any of the other properties. And at the same time, as they're digging for the foundations, they're gonna have a pile of soil. So what's called a soil stockpile. And so when that pile is created, they're putting a silt fence around it. So nothing, if it rains, doesn't get on that and wash that away. They can also put tarps over top of it just to provide that extra mitigation. Did that answer your question?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was, once you explained it, I got it. Yeah, thank you.
And actually, one of the other things that we have here is called construction entrance. It's a large stone, like a large prismoidal stone. So if vehicles drive in and out, when they leave, the idea is it's rubbing that off all their tires. So you do that along with there's maintenance as far as like sweeping the street to make sure any mud that does happen to work its way off, you're taking care of.
Thank you.
And just if we run the order, just to make sure I understand, I think that even at the top of the building, it won't be visible from Harbor Island. Do I have that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
We have a parapet wall. No, we do have a parapet wall, so. It'll explain.
And it doesn't really block anybody's view to the river either because of the location. All right.
Chair Board, I have a couple questions. This is the Assistant Building Inspector, Dennis Drogan. Hi. So with the soil that's going to be carted off of the site, right? and the construction entrance that is formed, how many parking spaces will be constantly required during the time of the construction? And what measures will be taken for tire cleanage, cleaning the tires before coming off the site, other than the rip rock and gravel?
The number of parking spots, I'd have to go back and double check. I know we have the staging plan that was submitted to go through of what space are and keeping the sidewalk active, keeping everything active. I would have to take a look and see how many spaces would actually be impacted during the work. As far as the cleaning of the tires, right now it's the construction entrance that is the primary that we're using. But the number of vehicles, most construction vehicles are not being going in and out of the site other than delivery vehicles, such as timber or concrete trucks.
Now, you referenced the, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Dennis, if you hadn't finished.
Thank you. So just for the plan review, because we haven't done that aspect of the job, if we can have a count of the parking spaces, number of employees that are going to be working there roughly, just so we don't have over congestion. I mean, that's not for this meeting to discuss, but and then for the silt fence that'll be going around the property, will there be 1, 2? I see that there's one in measure, but will there be a second measure to control runoff during the process of construction?
Thanks, Dennis. On the zoning review and the compliance review with parking, that was provided in August, and we have a building department determination with those parking details that's dated August 15th of 2022. The silt fence and that.
Yes.
I know it goes around the whole property.
Yeah, there would be a single row silt fence, and the idea would be wire reinforced.
Okay, and the wire reinforcement is for the construction fence that's going around the site. Neither one will interfere with each other. So if there's replacement necessary for the silt fence, the construction fence won't be an obstruction.
No. And when I say the wire reinforced, it's actually the silt fence itself is wire reinforced. It gives it more structure.
Okay, so on the site plan, can you point out where the construction fence will be in relation to the silt fence?
From here, I really couldn't. I mean, I would need to. I can email you or a highlighted version if that would be helpful.
Please, yeah, I just want to make sure that, Harbor Coastal is satisfied with the placement of silt fence, and there'll be no interruption on replacement of silt fence when or if it becomes damaged.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm good. We can be in touch. My information's on the website.
Yeah, not a problem. I know we have your email.
Okay, well, I think you've got a very good idea what we're focused on. We have really honed in on the process itself as the area of great concern here. The more detail you can provide us in terms of how to protect the surrounding area from water during the process itself in various stages. It's going to go through the easier it'll be for us to get to a vote.
Sure. Any other comments from commissioners? No.
I
Thank you
think
very
we're
much
through
for
today.
the feedback.
Thank you,
We
Counselor.
look forward to reappearing in probably the next month or so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Okay, I will call next the applicants for 561 Lawn Terrace.
Good evening. For the record, I'm John Hills. We're representing
It's
the
nice to
John
have smart people come in.
Let me begin by apologizing for what appears to be a lot of confusion about this, and I'm sorry that's probably from me. Hopefully tonight we can clear up the questions. I did attend your work session last week, heard your concerns. I did provide Brittany and Mr. LaRusso with some additional information. I don't know if you saw it. If you haven't had the opportunity and you want to extend this out, please have no problem with that. I don't want you to go forward with anything you're uncomfortable with or unclear on. So let us begin on that.
I did. First of all, thank you. Miscommunications happen. I understand that, that you weren't at the last meeting because of just a miscommunication. It happens. No hard feelings.
Thank you.
We were here anyway.
You did show up just on my account. Thanks. Glad we did that.
We did get your, we did get the materials that you just submitted, where we were not able to get them loaded. There's only so much we can put on the staff at the last minute because they're often scrambling to do several things for us. And so the public hasn't had a chance to see them. We're gonna have to hold open. I'll open the public hearing tonight in case there's, somebody who wants to speak, but we'll hold that open until people have had a chance to look at the whole thing.
Not a problem.
Since you saw the work session, you sort of know where our thinking is. I did get a chance to see what you showed us, and it's it's really an illustration of what's there now and the navigable distance and the comparison to other docks. And we've been listening, of course, as we should and must, to our harbor master about how close it is to the navigable channel, and we're just trying to get our heads around how to get you a project that does not interfere with safe navigation, because under multiple policies of our harbor plan, we're not allowed to create a hazard for safe navigation.
That's not a really good part of the plan. I agree with that. Let's all be on board with that. Very good.
Okay, go ahead and walk us through the dock, though I think we understand it. Go ahead and walk us through the dock.
Okay, we could go to the next sheet. That's okay, the proposed. Yes, very good. Okay, and this is where questions arise, I guess. Is why did we move it closer to the channel than we originally proposed? And one of the items I sent yesterday was an email chain between myself and staff at New York Department of Environmental Conservation, as well as the Army Corps of Engineers. What happened is that the DEC, they have a policy by which they want a minimum of 2.5 feet of clearance to meet the floating dock to the substrate at low tide and low water. And the suggestion was that we push the dock out in order to get slightly deeper water at the site. So that being the case, I said, I don't have a problem with that. However, what I initially proposed was in keeping with the Army Corps of Engineers 3-foot setback, or rather 3-to-1 setback of depth to horizontal setback from the anchorage line. Basically, you have a 6-foot anchorage there. So ideally, the front of the waterward face of the floating dock should be 18 feet back from the anchorage line. In consultation with Alexandra Ryan at the Army Corps of Engineers, I asked her basically straight out, do you have an issue with us doing so? She replied, as my email will attest, that she did not, as long as it quote unquote did not create a navigational hazard. So therefore, that's why we arrived at this. Now, the concern being on your parts and on the part of the harbor master is that this appears to stick out farther than the adjacent docks. Obviously, the dock to the northeast, if you will, is closer to shore, whereas the additional information that I provided demonstrates that there are several docks that are actually extend much farther out than the one in question. Furthermore, the width of the anchorage at that location, between phase of the proposed dock and that on the opposite shore, I believe is well over 100 feet. I think 138 feet. If that number is correct. So the point being is that there's adequate clearance there, even with boats on both dock, proposed dock, and the one on the opposite shore. In addition to that, I wanted to just point out that the overall width of the waterway at this location, percentage that the proposed dock takes up is well below the 25% recommended by the Army Corps of Engineers. So I hope that was helpful, and glad to expound further on that if necessary.
So that is helpful. I want to give the harbor master a chance to comment if he wants to, and then, well, and then we'll see where we are.
Sure.
So good evening. Yeah, so my issue is that area in between the docks on both shorelines is actually a mooring field. So there could potentially eventually be moorings placed in that center of that channel. And that's when there would be an issue with that boat being on that dock with only that 7-foot 3-inch clearance. You know, if a boat tries to grab its mooring and misses, it could be an issue.
Well, let me ask you this, if we moved it back 3.5 feet, wouldn't it still be an issue if somebody missed their mooring?
Yeah, it could be. That's why, is there any way that that dock can be turned to face, you know, like north? So it's not, you know, long ways to the channel. It's, so the boat would actually be on the side, like in between the two houses?
It's basically, you know, in line with all the adjacent docks, you know, on either side of it. And I don't know, Mr. Russo, if you saw the items that I sent to you and Brittany yesterday.
Yes, I have them.
Okay, so you have a pretty good overview of
Yeah.
what's going on in that neck of the woods, as they say.
Yeah, yeah.
I turning the dock.
I don't know if you have enough water there to do that.
I don't really have enough water to do
Because
so.
there's no, I didn't see like a depth survey. In
Right,
it.
if you go to the next page, the section view, Brittany, that might be helpful. It kind of gives you, you can see, you quickly, the mud comes up quickly.
Right.
So if we turn the dock, as you say, like, you know, if that dock was reoriented, so it basically ran perpendicular to shore, and you brought the boat in alongside it on either side, you'd basically be grounding every low tide.
Right.
And not only that, you'd end up in a situation where the floating dock obviously would not have the clearance that the DEC requires. And therefore, you'd basically going against their operating kind of guidelines.
Okay.
So, I mean, as I looked at this, at the aerial views from the supplemental materials, and I haven't had a lot of time to digest this because we just got them today, but as I looked at the placement of the other docks, the question in my mind is this part of that channel of a more navigation sensitive place than either farther out or farther in? Because it's, you know, just sort of visually, it's not really disproportionate to some of the other docks on the same channel, but it also looks, it's a narrower point. You know, farther in is less navigation sensitive simply because there'll be fewer boats in and out. Farther out of the channel, there's a little more room. And I'm not a marine professional, so I don't know how to think about that.
Yeah, it's definitely not as used, you know, as much as the channel further out. Like you could just see, like just off of that first dock that have lettered A and M, you know, those boats there are on moorings. So that's kind of a real high traffic area out that way. But, you know, you do get boats that go in and then come out, you know, down that fairway also, but definitely not as high of a volume as you do in the channel.
I hate to say this because this is going to be the least fun thing I could call for in January. I think I want a site visit. Yeah, okay. I got 3 commissioners that are saying the same thing. To really appreciate the navigation reality and how it interplays with the mooring field, that's really the question, right? There's plenty of space between the 2 sets of docks, except that there are moorings in there. To really appreciate whether it's a navigation hazard, I think I probably have to be in a boat
more like
piloted
this.
by a responsible adult. I technically have a boat license, but most of what I do is on a jet ski, which is
Out there, I mean,
irresponsible. I can get away with.
And not something you
That's a
want to
joke.
do in January or February either.
No, but all kidding aside, this is one of those things that I'm not sure we can really get our heads around it until we see it. And I'm sorry to do that to you because it's a pain to schedule, but I think we're gonna have to.
That's fine, but let me ask you, if I could ask the harbor master, do you currently have moorings in that vicinity between the docks, the proposed dock and the one on the opposite shore?
Not in that far. I think our last mooring is outside the house that you have C.
It's right out here.
I have one mooring out in there between those two.
Fine, and would, if you were to place moorings in that location, would they be single point or double?
Double. Everything in there has to be a double.
You
Okay,
bet.
fine, so you basically, I think, again, that, there's over 100 feet width of anchorage at that location.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
that being the case, you'd probably be somewhere like 50 feet beyond the anchorage line, which is another 14 feet or thereabouts from the face of the proposed floating dock. So you're talking about something 60 plus or minus feet from the dock and 50, a minimum of 50 feet from the berth vessel of that dock, correct?
Yes, about that. I would say that's about accurate.
So that leaves you, let's say you're berthing a boat of 12-foot beam, you've got nominally a 40-foot fairway between the side of that boat and the side of a boat berth at the proposed dock. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yep.
So 40 feet, so that one boat coming, one boat going, 20 feet. Boats, 20 feet for either boat.
Either boat.
Just laying out kind of what a fairway would be like in this particular location.
I'm sorry, if I can just, whenever I have a comment.
Don't be sorry.
I just,
I'm here to answer your question.
yeah, so I am actually familiar with this area.
Okay.
So I actually am a boat user that goes through it. So I'm also aware of the size of the boats
Right.
that are on the moorings that are already there. And I'm also aware of how fast moorings are put in. It is very different to see this and really grasp the concept, how tight it is in the winter, when the moorings are just there versus even when the boats are put in. These are not small boats. These are large boats.
Right.
So when you're trying to do your estimates, you got to realize that is based upon, we're not aware of how big of a boat is going to be put there.
Well, that would
And
be the determination of the harbor master.
Right.
You would basically have that information and assign accordingly.
Okay, but on that, I'm saying, one of my biggest concerns is the safe navigation during that channel, which is already very tight. So especially in that area where your proposed dock is, I find that it's really at a point where the moorings, it just gets really tight there. And as a current condition, I already see a difference with the moorings as it is. So for me, I really agree with the site visit because I just really have to get my head wrapped around understanding the safe navigation here, because that is just such a crucial safety point.
I have no problem.
And coming down to just the measurement of the feet and when you're saying nominal, to me, nominal is not nominal on water. I feel like that is just something that is something for a deep consideration on this board. And like I was saying, there's such a difference between the winter when there's no boats there and really trying to visualize where the dock will be in terms of just the channel versus when the boats are put in.
Well, then let me ask you this. Is it even prudent to have a site visit now, or should we just put this off until July?
I mean, and that is one of the things where I'm just bringing up because for me, I just feel like, I don't know, visually,
No,
I just feel like it's hard for me to really judge.
Time if you got out there in the middle of winter and around and said, well, we can't really get the appreciation
Yeah.
list like here in the middle of summer.
So that was just my only commentation.
If I add on that one, I'm pretty much in the same place. And what I'm trying to do is just do a little bit of work myself. And I go, on some satellite images and stuff like that, try to figure out what we're talking about. But I'm interpreting certain things in the way that I look for those things, I think would be better for you to just show us exactly what we should be looking at and how to interpret those things. If you see what I mean, I'm making assumptions that the picture that I'm looking at is the picture that you have in your head and in the vision in your future plan of just
Right.
putting the dock. You see what I mean? So if I make a decision on what I think it should be versus on what you present us that it should be,
We should
I
all
don't
agree
think
on
we-
what
yeah.
we're deciding on. I fully agree with that. I wouldn't want it any other way. So what do you propose is the best way to arrive at that?
I guess what you Cami suggested, if we had a visual representation of exactly where the dock is going to be, because this is great, this is absolutely fantastic, but it's just an extract and snapshot of a bigger picture.
Right.
And at the moment, I'm not suggesting that you do that, but this is what I can find, very easily on some
Google
maps
Earth,
on the
right,
internet,
exactly.
right? And see where the new dock or the new pontoon is going to be at, and how the navigation is going to be going around, the existing mooring points. Or
Right.
in that way, it will help us understand exactly what we're talking about.
Mark, I think what I hear is marking potential moored boats at mooring points and then navigation channel around it on
Right.
the aerial would be very helpful.
That I would have to consult with Mr. LaRusso about what moorings are authorized in there, because I don't know. I don't have that information. So can you provide me with that information?
Sure, yeah, I can put something together for you.
That would be helpful, because obviously I don't want to just wing it. That wouldn't be helpful for anybody. What I would suggest, I guess, is the best way to do that would probably be to incorporate the proposed dock into the Army Corps of Engineers survey sheet that I provided to you. And do that.
Yeah.
Include
Yeah.
the moorings, and you have the size of the vessels that are to be berthed at those moorings, sir?
Yeah, they would be all smaller boats, probably no bigger than like a 30-foot tower, because of the draft being back in there. You can only go so deep.
Okay, well, if you would specify that and also the location of the moorings, that would be, I would have to obey that, and I think we'd have to agree on that, because that's the parameter. So we could do that, we could provide basically a drawing based on the survey, kind of an overlay, if you will, that shows the proposed dock, that shows any authorized moorings in the vicinity of the proposed dock, and then calls out distances between proposed conditions at the site, the applicant site, and thereafter, and that would be helpful to you all.
Absolutely.
That would be.
That
and,
We can
That
do
would be very helpful. I really
Now,
appreciate it.
Is that better for you than doing a site visit? Because I don't know. I mean, that's.
my view of it, and speaking for myself, I think if I'm there, if we're out on the water, I'll be able to have a sense of what a 30-foot boat would do in that mooring space without actually having one present. That's just speaking for myself. I appreciate that you're willing to work with us. I also don't like to have applicants hang around, for a very long time if we don't need to. So I would rather do it earlier, even though we won't have a bunch of boats on the water.
Okay.
I have the harbor master boat.
Not adamant
but
I'm sorry, what was that?
Sorry.
I have the harbor master boat in the water, but I don't know how good of a view you're going to get of it now, this time of the year.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I realize there won't be boats moored.
Yeah, it's very different without any boats.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to impose my view on the condition on the commission. Maybe we should just take a look at maybe we should just take a look at the new survey and then see if we still think we need a visit.
That's a prudent approach. Now, while I have you all, I know you have some other questions. So let's, if you want to, for example, I think there was concerns about the contractor. That, some people were concerned about the.
Yes, I did mention that one, and I said,
Right.
do they need to have certain qualification to
The
do?
contractor who's on the building permit applications, Average Marine Construction, they have over 40 years of experience. They've done work for the village in the past. They've done work in that vicinity. I think the 2 docks opposite of the applicant site, actually, they've done follow-up work at those sites after another contractor apparently failed to do an adequate job. In addition to those sites, directors, Post Road Boatworks, Boatyard, Mamaroneck Boats and Motors, Nichols. I know that for the village that they 2 years back, they rebuilt a bunch of floating docks and drove a bunch of
Okay, it feels better to know that somebody has done that before. and
let's
it
put
works.
this way. Put yourself in my position.
Yeah.
Your client asks you for a recommendation. You're not going to recommend someone who's going to do a poor job because they're not going to answer the phone. So the client's going to call you back and say, the guy he told me to do the work didn't do it.
Screwing me around.
So my hair's already white. I don't want it to fall out. Okay, so that's how I approach this. So he's highly qualified. This is a very easy job.
It was Concavage Marine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're very good.
Mr. Harbor Master, I just have one question. Can I ask one?
Sure.
What's the story on the bottom there? Is the mud building? Is it static? What's going on there?
That probably gets silted in from Otter Creek. That's where it lets
That's what I
out
thought.
beneath the Barry Avenue Bridge.
Yeah.
So that gets silted in there. Now there's, I don't know if that's going to be part of the dredging when they dredge, the rivers, if that's going to be part of that, I'm not sure.
Because I just hate to be in, I've seen this. You
Yeah.
approve something, but then it's not doable because the mud's building up.
Right.
So I'm just asking, it's a pretty active outflow there.
It is very.
Okay.
Okay, well, I think that's about all the progress we can make for tonight, except for one thing. You signed your public hearing. I've already said that we'll make sure that we continue that, but I'm gonna open it for public comment if my commissioners agree, just in case. Motion open for public comment. Second,
Approved.
Second.
in favor? Okay, it's open for public comment. The person who might have been here for this has just left the room and I suspect he's here for something else. So that means we don't have any public comment on this at this point. However, since there was new late submitted information, we're going to hold public comment open. And with that, we've done everything we can for that. Thank you.
John, just so you know,
Thank
the
you.
items that you did email, can you please make sure you drop off a hard copy to our office?
Happy to do that.
you.
And I will try to get you the big overlay drawing. Mr. LaRusso, you have my email. When do you think you can provide me with that information on boats and moorings?
By Monday or Tuesday of next week?
Sounds like a plan.
And
Great.
the items for the meeting next month are due 2 weeks prior to the meeting. So you have a good amount of time.
Well, I'm a very busy man, but I'll try to do my best. How's that sound? Any other questions?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. And I appreciate your understanding and happy to move this along, as I said, in a way that you're happy with. So very good. All right, have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay, we have we've dealt with our two private applicants. We've dealt with our two private applicants. We have an administrative item, which is the Harbor Island Dog Park proposal. We have during a work session spoken with the village manager, and we signed out the work of drafting an advisory letter. Now, the procedural posture this is in, this is a Board of Trustees application. When the Board of Trustees is the applicant, they do their own consistency review with guidance from Harbor Coastal. So instead of taking a vote on it, we write them a letter. We've got a draft working, which we put up on the agenda late, unfortunately, because that's when it was ready. But we have a proposal that deals with all of the policies that we think are impacted and takes into account a good deal of. That's not the right version. It had a date in it. There's a later version.
That's the one I got this afternoon.
You know what? I think that is, I think that's on me. I think I circulated, okay.
Let me check my email. Hold on one second.
No, I believe you. Just trying to
No, you never know.
figure out how I did that.
In the words of the applicant, I'm a busy woman. You never know.
I mean,
I knew you heard him.
I know, you know, I did.
I was like, oh, that was a mistake. That's
Yeah.
all I was thinking.
I've been through it a few times. That's okay. Let me see.
I may be able to fix this real quick.
If you could send it to me, I could share it
That's
on the scene. Yeah, that's the same one.
I don't know why I sent the wrong version, but there's a somewhat updated version.
Okay.
We'll have to access it right now. Okay, well, the primary reason we're here is to take public comment. We said we would bring this back onto the meeting in case there was public comment. So at this point, I will make a motion to open the dog park for public comment.
Motion.
So we have a second, all in favor?
Favor.
We are open for public comment. I see no one in the courtroom. The citizen that I thought was here to comment on it has left. So I don't think we have public comment. Has anybody tried to reach the staff to indicate that they have public comment other than by letter?
No, only the 3 we've received that I posted.
Okay. So we've received communications from several citizens, some of whom understand the process or the policies fairly well, and some of whom are frequent correspondents with the commission. Many of the issues raised are procedural, and we'll address those in the letter. we are in the position where the applicant is the Board of Trustees. So that for us to stand on procedural ceremony about what the application looks like, rather than focus on the policies and whether or not there's sufficient record for the trustees making determination on the policies, just doesn't seem appropriate. Some of the comments were about floodplain issues, and we are, of course, extremely sensitive to our policy 11 floodplain safety. However, this is a chain link fence structure, and it's got and it's not residential. Nobody lives there. It's a dog park. It's used only for recreation. When there's seriously bad weather, it is unlikely there are going to be people using the dog park. So we wouldn't be citing people in harm's way. And the structure itself is about as flood tolerant as it gets. It's, chain link fence is completely permeable by a flood surge. It's not going to be destroyed by flood water. So we're not really citing property in harm's way either. So the policies that we really have no room to court any danger on, we would not be. The draft of the letter that's available publicly takes up many of the other issues. The concrete pad, flood flow, the faucet flow, and the view shed issue with the fence. Several residents raised the issue that at points in the deliberation and in the ad hoc committee, there was discussion of potential shade. I think we were not presented with a project that has a shade structure. Shade structure would be taller and different than what was proposed to us, and would change the view shed concerns. So the views that we would express to the trustees about our policy 25 and view shed would be, I think, significantly altered if there were a proposal to add some kind of a shade structure. That said, I think we are where we were when we put the draft letter up on the public agenda in terms of view shed, assuming that there are no major changes to the project. And I think we have subsequently received information about the faucet flow that tend to indicate that it's not so great as to be problematic. It's about 5.6 gallons per dog, and even at a high rate of usage, that's not enough gallons to create a problem in an environment where there's pervious surface and soil all around. So my view is that, my view is expressed in the letter. I've circulated that to the other commissioners. And I guess since we don't have public comment, motion to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Public comment is closed. So do we think we have enough to sign off on our letter and send it to the trustees? I will, because we don't have the final version up, I'm gonna have to recirculate this with a view to getting it out to the trustees tomorrow, because we can't deliberate by email. It's substantially in the form of what's on the website, but there are a few changes that I think should make it in, including to address the views that concerned residents expressed, and we're always grateful to get the correspondence from residents. I'll circulate that tomorrow. Comments right back to me if we have any, and then we can express our concern, our views about consistency to the trustees, and they can act on that with all deliberate speed. We should be able to get it out tomorrow. Okay, I think that addresses the administrative item, and with that, we have run our agenda. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Favor. Thank you.
Have a good evening.
I
Thank you for your input, Dennis. It was much appreciated.
Thank you also. LaRusso.
Very
Thank
well.
you, Mr. LaRusso.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, Brittany, thank you.
Thank you, folks. That was.
Teresa, what